had an incident at LES skate park that I wanted to make a video about right away, but I thought I'd let it simmer for a few days, and the results are this video. So on today's skate adventure, we'll be talking about the two skate parks that I've heard the most complaints about, one in California and one here in New York City. The Bad Vibes skate park in California is technically Cherry Park. It's where I feel like most people have felt pretty uncomfortable going and have maybe had a shade of bad vibes, but coincidentally, I've never really had an issue there. In fact, one time somebody stole a book bag of mine with my wallet and phone in it, and 10 people from the skate park went and jumped the kid and returned my belongings. Admittingly, at the time, there's nothing really controversial about me, but there were other commentator skateboarders that weren't even allowed to go to the skate park, and when they would try to, people would just tell them to leave or else. A lot of skateboarders from Long Beach were not from there. They put a lot of pressure on themselves to become professional skateboarders, and they didn't want to rub anyone the wrong way. And I think a lot of times, this comes off as bad vibes because they're just being quiet, trying to keep to themselves. Which is an unfortunate situation I know a lot of people face all over the country, and I never really had to deal with until I started my YouTube channel. Hello YouTube. Today I'm gonna film a day in the life. It's a pretty interesting day today usually. Since my YouTube channel was pretty much the antithesis of what the skateboard industry was about at the time, a lot of people were scared to mingle with me because they were afraid of the repercussions of being involved with a skateboard YouTuber, but luckily I had the built-in relationships where nobody still really mistreated me at this point. And then I moved to New York City. I moved into New York City and I'm pretty excited. Am I pretty excited? I mean, very excited. I was held at a higher judgment, which led to a few uncomfortable situations, which also leads us to the incident at LES skate park, which I want to hurry up and talk about because I want to skate. During this session, there was a guy there who was on drugs and who had heard of me or knew of me in some way. And in his brain, somehow, he had developed the idea that I was this cocky guy who kept basically bragging about how popular I was, even though that's a completely fabricated, made-up situation that of course didn't happen because I was just keeping to myself, being quiet, and skating. So the rest of the time, he talked to me as if I couldn't see that he was clearly on drugs, and he was bragging about his situations of meeting skateboard celebrities here in the city and how I was nothing compared to him. He kept telling me over and over that he didn't know who I was. He was making jokes about being like, oh, I've never heard of you before. What's your name again? Oh, never heard of you, never heard of you. Like it mattered at all to me. When I would land a trick, he would say, my friend could do that first try. He would even ironically clap after everything we did and even cheer in a very condescending way. I tried to be above the situation because I understood that this was someone who was probably struggling in a certain way where he couldn't even be right of mind early in the morning. But of course, it triggered me. And from there, I had concluded that I'm probably never gonna go to that skate park again, especially because there's about 30 other ones in the city. What's up? What are you doing? Making a YouTube video.
Yeah, what's it about?
Okay, I'm bored talking about this. I just want to skate. Oh my God. Yes. Long story short, I love skateboarding because of skateboarding. I don't really care about the vibes too much. I actually don't care about the community as much as I like actually doing the skateboarding. I like the community of people who appreciate what skateboarding is the same way that I appreciate it. And if other people don't like what I do, it doesn't matter at all. I don't care at all. All I want to do right now and forever is just skate whenever I want. That's what I enjoy. Let's do it. Amazing. I've never seen the spot before. It's in Brooklyn. It's so much fun. And here's the ironic part about having these really cool guy skate parks in cities like New York and LA. You don't ever really need to go to the skate parks here. The skate spots are pretty much the same thing. How is this not just as good as any ledge you'll find at a skate park? Plus it's in the street, so it's a little more aesthetic for footage. This whole thing also reminds me of advice that my friend Feedback TS gave me. He said, there are more skaters here and more facets to the scene here than anywhere else I could possibly be. And even if 20 people hated me, I had 5 good friends that I saw all the time. Obviously you should be confident from within, but having a few good friends that appreciate what you do is all I really need. By the way, this is Williamsburg in Brooklyn. It's amazing for skateboarding. The spots are so fun. I feel like extra rejuvenated now. It's also just a really nice area with nothing really to worry about. And LES, it's not a terrible area, but there is precaution. It is next to some projects. So if you go late, you could get in a lot of trouble, which kind of adds to the overall sketchiness. I did have a friend who talked to me the other night about going there at 3 a.m. with his girlfriend, and he ended up getting jumped and beat up and got all his stuff stolen because it was late, and it wasn't even skaters that did it, of course. So a lot of times it doesn't even have to do with the skaters. I just don't like bad vibes in general. I don't like being in locations where I feel sketched out or where people sort of confront me or mess with me. And there are places in New York and anywhere in the country that have those. But if they're in skate parks, avoid them. These videos are basically just an excuse to go skateboarding and document it and show you guys the fun adventure of what it is to go skateboarding, period. And I'll see you every Tuesday and Thursday for another video, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you did like the video, please smash that like button and watch the other videos from the weeks prior because I've been uploading fire content. It feels weird to be arrogant, but they have been good videos and a lot of people seem to have liked them. So tune in for more. I love you so much. Progress daily and keep killing it.